The success can never be about the amount of money you have in the bank. It is about how many people's lives have you been able to touch. And at the same time is your self-worth is never about what you own. Your self-worth comes from what you create. And there are lots of people in Middle East who may be stinking rich, but as far as I'm concerned, they are worthless and useless because they haven't created anything. Right? And the third thing to remember is the only way for you to know when you become successful is when you become humble. Because if you still have arrogance left in you, then you're always trying to prove something to someone or yourself.
How you balance out the darkness with the light when you're driven. It's taking an inventory of your weaknesses, taking an inventory of your gaps in your offense or your defense, your skill set, your mindset, finding someone to learn from, or going and put yourself through a class to learn it.
You gotta learn to just be zen when other people are fighting around you. Their energy is not your energy. Their energy is not your energy. You have to, he told me this phrase, I never heard it ever before. You have to self-will how you want to feel. So you have to be very conscious of your energy and self-will it.
When you set goals, when you have an intention on something that you want to change about your life, your brain helps you. What it does is it opens up a checklist, and then your brain goes to work trying to remind you.
The culturescape, the shared subjective realities we are living in, and identify what rules help you and what rules are really rules or bullshit rules. Rules that hold you back from truly living your most extraordinary life.
Flashy thing, it's instant gratification that the money brings them is what they are attracted to. And you realize that anything that generally brings instant gratification is probably the wrong thing to do in the long term, right? If you think about happiness, you will find that most people who have tremendous wealth rarely have the happiness.
You need to start giving the vocabulary of happy to your families. You have to start giving the vocabulary of happy to your teams. If your teams are never talking about what makes them happy, what kind of workplace is that to be in? If you're not having conversations and dialogue, if other people, I say it to people all the time, are you happy? How's it going? Are you happy? How's it going? I ask it all the time. Are you happy? How's it going? Because by asking the question, I'm cueing it. Just like the doorway trigger. I enter this room as a happy man, ready to serve. And when I say I enter this room as a happy man, ready to serve, it makes me more intentional. It makes me more what? Most people's deadlines are preferences, not deadlines. And soon as you know that, that's why I say, is there a real need now? Most people's real need is BS. It's not a real need. That's their preference. Need versus preference. You learning to identify that will change your life forever.
There's no amount of material thing that can bring you happiness. Even if you buy whatever the thing today is the latest thing, somebody has more than that. And if you constantly think having the latest thing is going to make you happy, you'll always be unhappy because someone has the later things, right? And the minute you buy something, guess what happens? It no longer matters, right? And you always keep chasing the next thing and the next thing, and you keep collecting the toys. To some extent, happiness comes from being satisfied with what you have, at the same time driving to use what you have, whether it's your skills or financial resources, to go out and do tremendous good in the world, and always know that when you are going to go out and solve the problem that helps 1 billion people, you'll in the meantime be creating a $10 billion business that's going to give you even more resources to solve even more audacious problems.
That we all have the opportunity to be leaders. And if that is true, then we also have the responsibility to use our influence with the most impact we can. If it's upon you to lead your family, your team, and society in some way or another, you have stewardship to your family or your friends or those who you lead. If you have that, isn't it incumbent upon you to make sure that your time is well spent on the things that, because if it's not, I don't just think that you're cheating your potential, you're cheating a tremendous service to the world that you could offer. People say, Brendon, you're so serious about your schedule. I go, yeah, because you know what? What's the alternative up here? And really, what's the alternative? That we're all going around doing a bunch of things that weren't planned, so we're reactive, that it's not even on our responsibility, so we're carrying everybody else. It doesn't feel right to our heart and our soul, that there's no reason to do it. There's no real need now, that we don't care about it. It doesn't help us grow, and it doesn't serve others. That is not a life. If you score ones on any of these things and anything that someone dished up to you, it should be the most confident, roaring no of all time, right? No feels great. Everyone say, no! But then think about if something is so perfect for you and so right, and it serves so many other people, and you get to say yes, how do you celebrate that yes? Say it like that. Feels so good. Both of them, yes feels great, no feels great in my life. I have no problem giving you a yes, I have no problem giving you a no, because I got clarity on my priorities.
Most people that are miserable or that are really like dying to be great and dying to have more, we want to change. We want to live a better life. We want to create more for our families. We want to be happier. The desire is there. Again, it's about how do you go from knowledge to action. So the first thing in this story that's important is realizing that the answer was in me. And my mind was telling me, pay attention.
By questioning everything, and I don't mean being skeptical of everything, there's a difference. I mean healthy skepticism. Ultimately, questioning the rules of the culturescape so we can stay true to our own inner identity.
Making money is like having an orgasm. If you focus on it, you'll never get it. So you have to let it happen. Just enjoy the process.
Moves as fast as a rocket, Mel.
And remember, it's not that you might not achieve your goals, it's just that you might have achieved the things that don't matter. Not every mountain is worth the climb. So we have to make sure we choose the things that are right for us, not busy work, life's work.